everyone. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
This is Take Two. And welcome to our Doctor Who review of the latest episode called The World, Enough, and Time. And it aired last night. We're finally getting around to it. Oh, by the way, hashtag Cold Beer Sunday. Yes, I have a Star Wars koozie.
Of course he does.
Of course I do. So, overall, initial thoughts. What did you think of this episode?
It was good, definitely. I think that it might have been better if we didn't know that the other master Saxon,
Saxon
and
John Sims
and the Cybermen weren't gonna be in it already. Like if that had been more of a surprise, than it was. But no, it was good, and yeah, is Bill gonna?
Well, we'll get to that. So overall, for me, I actually think I said like 3/4 of the way through the episode, it's a very slow burn. It's a slow, methodical build up to the end.
Right.
To the end of the next episode. This is a 2-part finale. And one of the things for me was, and I haven't really gotten that this much this year, or this season, is that was kind of a thriller. There was like scary like jump scares at times in this episode and stuff, and that really kind of, we haven't had like a really scary one. Well, the one with the house was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But it hasn't happened a whole lot, and that one was good, but I'm just trying to figure out how I feel like overall, like you were saying, knowing things were kind of coming is making me kind of question it a little bit.
It wasn't as shocking as it could have been if we hadn't known that Saxon was going to be in it. And, I mean, the Cybermen, okay. But Saxon, definitely. That would have been, the whole reveal. He rips off his face, and you're like, we knew. As soon as the guy, I can't remember what it is, Mr. something, showed up, it's like, okay, it's Saxon.
Yeah, so the episode begins, actually, with the Doctor on some snowy planet somewhere, steps out of the TARDIS, starts kind of falling to his knees, and the regeneration begins. And that's how the episode begins. So, again, Moffat with the fake regeneration.
Yeah.
Fucking Moffat.
How many times is he going to almost regenerate? So,
we have that going on. And then they end up on the ship, and it's this 400-mile long, 100-mile wide ship. It's a colony ship.
Right. And so, I would like to point out, because I did a little bit of searching before we came in here, and nothing that I found anybody said anything, but this is such a Moffat Easter egg, and we need to go back and rewatch it. The very beginning of the ship, when they're scanning along the whole thing, and you're looking out the windows kind of sideways, looked to me like the places that he had been in this season, specifically the place in, is it Scotland or Ireland? In the last episode, you see the long green, where the standing stones and stuff, and then the next one is like the wheat fields and the road leading to the emoji robots. So I want to go back and rewatch that.
That's a nice little Easter egg. If that's actually what's happening, that's a cool Easter egg. The thing about the ship, though, is it's getting sucked into a black hole. And so the front of the ship is running at a much slower pace than the back of the ship.
In time.
And so when they get to the front of the top of the ship, which is kind of like the bridge, which strangely looks like the Enterprise bridge. When they get there, this blue guy shows up. Actually, let me back up. When they get there, Missy is the first one to get off the TARDIS, and she walks out and says, "Hello, everyone. I'm here to help you. My name is Doctor Who." And I went, "No, he's the Doctor." So then Nardal and Bill come out, and they have this exchange and different things, and Missy's trying to talk to whoever's on camera, because there's nobody on the bridge. Whoever's on the camera to come talk to her, and all this stuff is going on, and she keeps introducing herself as Doctor Who. And then shenanigans happen or whatever, and the Doctor actually is on the TARDIS, kind of being the coach in the booth, trying to help Missy be this good person, right?
Yeah, somebody pointed out it's very My Fair Lady when he's, training her the rain on Spain's Days Movie. It's very My Fair Lady. And she's kind of dressed like that, too, which is kind of funny.
So that was kind of a cool little thing, and then the Doctor comes out, and they start talking about the Doctor's real name. And Missy says, of course I know what his real name is. And Bill's like, you know what his real name is? And Missy's like, of course I do. And she says, it's Doctor Who. And he named himself Doctor Who and then just dropped the Who part because, well, it just made more sense to be called the Doctor. And I was like, what is this conversation going on? 2 minutes ago, he was fucking regenerating, and now we're talking about his name.
And is that his name?
No, we're never going to learn the Doctor's name. Never. Ever. Ever. Unless Moffat comes back and then fuck with all of us. So, the blue guy freaks out because the elevators are coming up and they're looking for a human, and Bill says, hey, I'm a human. The elevator gets to the top floor, and the blue guy shoots Bill.
Yep. We've
killed Bill. Again. So, playing the part of Rory this season will be Bill. And so, these things show up with bags on their heads and white robes, and they're pulling along this IV cart. They take Bill to fix her. Is that how they put it?
Yeah.
And then and now she's in the bottom of the ship, and they're at the top of the ship, and now she gets a new heart. It's a big metal heart. And she ends up being friends with this. He's like a curator or mechanic or
the hunchback.
Yeah. He's kind of ugly. Kind of walks kind of funny and hunched over. And she spends months and years for her with him on the TV watching very, very slow what's going on the bridge because of the whole timey-wimey and shit. And so she finally talks him into going to the conversion theater, and they go in there and they grab her and they throw her on the table, and then the Doctor shows up, and no real explanation of time of how long it was for Bill and
but when the Doctor and Nardole go into the operating room, the conversion theater, nobody's in there.
Right.
I mean, they were in there, they were operating on Bill or whatever, and now there's nobody in there except a few random works in process is what they were calling them.
So Missy sits down on the computer to try to figure out what's going on. Bill and Nardole go wandering off. And the hunchback curator dude, whatever, shows up and starts talking to Missy. And they are having this banter back and forth, and Missy's pretty much telling him, stop fucking with me, or I'm going to rearrange your organs on the outside of your body. And the way she was just matter of fact about it the whole time, and he pulls out a gun, and they're having this banter, and the Doctor and Nardole are off in the operation room trying to figure out what's going on. And this door swings open, and an OG original Cyberman stands up and walks out with the bag head and the PVC pipes and the big giant frickin' toaster oven chess piece and stuff like that, from the 60s original Cyberman.
Yeah.
And Missy and the curator guy are having this long conversation, and he finally says, I wouldn't want to kill myself, and throws the gun away and pulls the mask off, and it's Saxon. Master Saxon. And all of a sudden Missy walks into the operating room. The Doctor's talking to the Cyberman, trying to get the Cyberman to explain where Bill is. And Missy walks in and stands next to one side of the Cyberman, and then you hear Saxon walk in, and the Doctor's face, I pointed it out. He's and turns around, and Saxon's standing there, and he walks over and stands next to the Cyberman, and that's the end of the episode. We're like, I have questions.
And at least they didn't show any scenes from next week, so
yeah,
if anything more happens, it's not spoiled. I don't know. So
we'll have to see if there's any I will float around, and I won't do a super search, but we'll have to do some floating around and see if we can find.
I don't know that I want to.
I don't know if I want to
because I don't want to know who he regenerates into.
Right.
What if we don't find out until the Christmas episode? I'm gonna be so mad.
This review next week will probably be done on Saturday, then right after the episode, because I'm not gonna be able to wait till Sunday morning to find out what's up. If we don't know who the new Doctor is by Christmas, I may start throwing things.
I'm gonna be mad.
I'm gonna be on Twitter, freaking going off on Moffat. So, I really think. I think this story itself, they had about an hour and 25 minutes worth of content that they had to stretch out over 2 episodes.
I don't know.
I just the whole thing with Bill being inquisitive with and kind of being the roommate of the hunchback curator dude.
Yeah, but I think that there was
seemed like it's dragged on long.
I think that there was some dialogue in there that was pertinent to kind of, I mean, if Bill's not going to be there anymore. There was a lot of things that were said that kind of led to that.
Well, one of the things we didn't talk about is that the original Cyberman that came out to talk to the Doctor turns out being Bill.
Right. And she says, I waited
for you.
Because he kept showing up. He said to her subconscious when she got shot, I'll wait for you. And so he kept like appearing while she was down below, saying, you know, wait for me, or I'll wait for you, or wait for me. And then she, and tear comes out the Cyberman's head. So.
The other thing too that we need to talk about is the fact that Saxon talked about this is not Exodus, which is what they were calling everybody leaving
Operation Exodus.
Operation Exodus was everybody leaving the bottom floor and moving up in the spaceship. Saxon actually said this is not Exodus. There's a D in there somewhere. It's Cyberman Genesis.
Yes.
So it's the origin of the Cybermen. So that's some deep stuff, because you're going back to the Cybermen were like
they weren't the first.
They weren't the first bad
guys. Were the first bad guys, but they were in the early episodes.
Super early episodes. So you're talking about that's why we got the OG looking Cybermen. But that is that's two bad guys that we got origin stories with Capaldi. We got Deveros last season, and how the Doctor shouldn't have saved Deveros when he was a kid and all that stuff. Those episodes were amazing. Now we've got the genesis of the Cybermen. So it's very. The other thing I'm having a problem with is Missy and Saxon can't be in the same area.
Well, but okay, so you didn't talk about this in their little back and forth. He said, "You've been here before, you just don't remember." And she's like, "No, I wasn't. I have no idea what you're talking about." And he's like, "Yeah, you were." And they're going back and forth. And this is before you know who he is.
Right.
So, what does that mean? Does that mean she, as Missy, has been there before, or is he talking about himself. As Saxon being there and helping with that, and then she somehow doesn't remember that happened because he was Saxon before she turned into Missy. And the Doctor has been... We've had
multiple times
3 doctors in the same spot for...
That's true.
Day of the Doctor.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's how they kind of got around... Because they're not supposed to be able to cross their own timelines, but they're not really crossing each other's timeline. They're kind of in the same time together. Timey-wimey and shit. But all of those rules have been thrown out with the Day of the Doctor stuff, right? So that makes a lot of sense. I'm interested to see what kind of bad thing that they're going to do to get the Doctor to have to go regenerate. Because Saxon and Missy are going to try to kill him.
Maybe.
That's been my idea of this is the redemption of Missy is right out the window. You just see it in her face when she's standing next to Cyberman and Saxon at the end, like that mischievous kind of look on her face, like I'm me again.
Yeah, it's like she's been, she's kind of been playing the beat dog or whatever. And yes, I'll do whatever it is you say. Whatever you want, I'll change because that's what you want me to be. Because I don't have any other choice. And then Saxon shows up and she's like, "Ha ha! Now I can do whatever I want again."
There's a great conversation. It's a flashback that Bill and the doctor are having on the rooftop over
Eating
chips because it's Bill, and he's talking about how he feels like he has to try to save Missy / the Master, because it's his oldest friend, and he feels obligated to help save him from himself, and there's like all this like
and throughout the whole thing, at least with Capaldi, he has been very tell me I'm a good man. He said that more than once.
Right.
Tell me I'm a good man. Tell me I'm a good person or a good whatever doctor. And so because him and Missy, him and the Master are the only two Gallifreyans left, and they were childhood friends. I think he feels like if he can save her, then he is a good man.
Yeah.
If there's good in her, there's good in him, and then he's okay. He's not evil like Missy, the Master.
The other thing in that conversation too was they talked a lot about the gender of
which makes
Time
me
Lords.
wonder if it's going to be the Next Doctor's going to be a woman.
There's been a clamoring for there to be a female doctor, which I think would be cool. As long as it's a ginger, I don't care. It could be a ginger dog. I don't care. I just want a ginger.
That'd be weird.
But what would be weird? But they had this conversation between the Doctor and Bill back and forth about he and she, and
we don't have those hang-ups like you guys do, and
then she says, and that's why they call you all Time Lords. And he's like, okay, all right, whatever. So there's actually, there was a lot in this episode. We just got done watching it, and now as we were talking, I'm thinking about more and more and more stuff that's been coming out in my head about, oh yeah, there was this, and oh yeah, there was this, and oh, there's this. So
typical Moffat, like I said, lots of Easter eggs, lots of things you gotta.
Yeah. So we'll see. Next week is the last episode to the Christmas episode, and like we said, we better find out who the new Doctor is. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see. Any last thoughts on this episode?
No.
We're gonna shoot Moffat. We're gonna shoot off our mallets at Moffat. All in caps. Anyways, what do you guys think of this episode of Doctor Who? The start of the two-part finale and the end of Capaldi. Let us know what you guys think. And what?
And Moffat.
And Moffat.
Maybe Bill.
And probably Bill. Which I'm not opposed to. Okay, I was gonna finish the episode. I had a moment. She's Martha Jones. She has that I'm having fun, but I'm kind of the reluctant person. Reluctant companion. I really want to go home at some point in time. I keep getting although she keeps getting killed. And so, but she's Martha Jones.
Yeah.
And she's
the reluctant companion.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes.
That's why I keep thinking that this will be her only season.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the new showrunner will have a new Doctor, a new companion. He can set up his universe however he wants to do it.
He could make Missy regenerate into a new Master,
into Saxon, or back to Saxon,
or into somebody new,
or Saxon, or they kill off Missy. Ooh, they kill off Missy. Missy tries to save the Doctor. She takes one, and then Saxon. We're deep in the fan theory now. All right, so what do you guys think? Like this video. Leave us a comment of what you think of this episode. We went a little longer this time because there was a lot of stuff. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are at 83 subscribers. We're trying to get to 100. Come on, guys. Help us out. You can also get a hold of us on Facebook. We're at the Pop Culture Cult. We're on Instagram at the Pop Culture Cult 1, and we're on Twitter at Pop_Cult1. Please subscribe to all of our pages, but please subscribe to the YouTube channel. and share this video with all of your friends who are Whovians. And until next time, #Cold Beer Sunday, fucking Moffat. Good night now.